This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 2172, Friendship Dissolution, The Whys and Goodbyes, by Dr. Marisa Cohen of Luvze.com. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me yet again here on ORD. My name is Greg Audino. I'm your host and narrator, sharing content about relationship building with you each and every day. And I love today's post because it addresses friendships, which tend to go a bit neglected in relationship literature, much to my dismay. So let's talk about if and how to end friendships with this post from Luvze.com as we optimize your life. Friendship Dissolution, The Whys and Goodbyes, by Dr. Marisa Cohen of Luvze.com. A friend recently asked me for advice regarding a breakup. I'm accustomed to fielding such relationship questions. However, I was surprised by her inquiry because I didn't realize that she had a significant other. What was even more surprising was that the breakup she wanted advice about was not with a romantic partner, but with a friend. Because our social circle seems to naturally evolve as we go through transitions in our lives, like new schools, new homes, or new jobs, etc., many of us don't think about the process of breaking up with friends. Her predicament, however, got me thinking about what happens when we need to let go of a friend during a relatively stable time in our lives. The decision to end the friendship may be because we realize that we've grown apart, no longer have time to devote to one another, or no longer value the connection. So how do we go about breaking things off? Can we end a friendship? Or are we obligated to hold on to friends just because we've had them in our lives for a certain period of time? If we decide to end the friendship, can we ghost the other person? Or do we owe our friend a more formal ending? While a breakdown in some aspect of a relationship usually ends to the termination of a romantic pairing, friendships may dissolve without either party experiencing any overt dissatisfaction. This lack of a clear reason can often make ending a friendship a bit more complicated than when ending a romantic tie. As a result, the process by which friendships deteriorate must be studied independently from other types of relationships. Why friends break up. In one study conducted over 2 decades ago, 155 graduates between the ages of 17 and 22 listed their friendships from their high school years on and wrote an essay detailing the demise of a same-sex friendship from any point during that time. From the essays, 4 different friendship termination patterns emerged. Physical separation, moving to a new house or city. Many participants described the difficulties they faced in maintaining long-distance relationships. New friends. In many instances, old friends were replaced by new ones. While some people reported feeling jealous or rejected, in most situations it was an amicable split. Dislike. Participants reported that their friends revealed or did something that they did not approve of, like ideological differences such as religion, or behaviors such as narcotics abuse. Or dating or marriage. People reported that their friendships ended when they or their friends got involved in romantic relationships. A more recent analysis, involving the deterioration of workplace friendships, used in-depth interviews of 25 full-time employees from a variety of occupational fields. This study revealed 5 main themes. Personality. The person could not accept a newly displayed personality or behavior trait by their friend, such as selfishness or flirtatiousness. Distracting life events. When the friend's personal life began to interfere with his or her job performance. Conflicting expectations. When the friends have different beliefs as to how to behave toward one another. This usually occurs when there is a superior or subordinate workplace relationship. Promotion. When one person becomes the other's superior and the nature of the relationship changes. And betrayal. A loss of trust between the pair. Consequences associated with ending a workplace friendship included emotional stress, reduced ability to perform tasks, and turnover. How friends break up. So now that we know that losing friends is a natural part of life, how can we end these relationships smoothly? Although there's limited empirical work on the topic, many how-to articles have gone viral on social media. The two main approaches to ending a friendship that are most often discussed are the slow fade, which is similar to ghosting, and the formal breakup. The slow fade. With the slow fade, the person is being eased into the end of the friendship. This seems to be used when both members of the dyad feel the same way about ending the relationship. A formal breakup, on the other hand, is more likely to happen when one person wants to end the friendship and the other individual appears to be completely unaware of it. This can often lead to a very awkward and uncomfortable conversation. One popular press book argues that a gut feeling will likely dictate which approach you should go with. If you decide to go with the more direct conversation option, it's best to plan out what you're going to say and to be clear about your expectations. If you repeatedly tell your friend that you're busy, rather than confronting the situation head-on, your friend may assume that at some point in the future you may be able to make time for him or her. If you keep things vague and open-ended, by saying that you just need some space, you may create confusion about boundaries. Instead, you need to express what it is you need and why. Of course, it's important to remember to temper your language and consider the other person's feelings, as this individual was once a good friend of yours. What did my friend do? She opted to confront the issue head-on. She explained to her friend via email that she did not feel that their relationship was moving in a positive direction, and that she didn't feel she could invest any more time and energy into it. She noted that while she valued the friendship they had, it was best that they now go their separate ways. While this may seem harsh to some, and definitely a difficult message to express, it was a smart approach. My friend maturely articulated what was going on, instead of leaving her friend hanging. She was able to provide a formal ending and an explanation, giving her friend a sense of closure. So, what's the moral of the story? If you are reevaluating some of the friendships in your life, it isn't only important to think about who you want to or may need to end things with, but also how you will approach this sensitive situation. You just listened to the post titled, Friendship Dissolution, The Whys and Goodbyes, by Dr. Marisa Cohen of Luvze.com. And be sure to stick around for my comments in just a minute. And Dr. Marisa touching upon an important yet often unexplored subject, as I mentioned in the intro. Thanks to her for that. There really is a lot to consider when it comes to ending a friendship, a lot of different variables at play. One that often comes up for me is the acknowledgement of phases in life. Due to one reason or another, we may have a period of months or even years go by in which we and a friend don't necessarily keep in touch. Does that mean we have to formally end this friendship? Well, maybe if you're someone who obsesses about the purpose and presence of everything in your life, which is not necessarily a bad thing, then sure. But that could close off the chance of the friendship naturally rekindling later on. To me, I'm usually most tempted to directly end friendships only if I feel the other person has done me an injustice serious enough that I'd rather not continue with them, even if I've forgiven them. But however you feel about it, I hope this article doesn't make you feel as though you have to police this one way or another. That's to say that there is no rule surrounding how you have to navigate friendships that have lost their luster, if you will. It varies from person to person, and you'll likely find that your instincts vary from friend to friend. The more you listen to yourself and trust your gut, the more likely you are to keep the right people in your life anyway. But that's going to bring us to the end for today, everyone. I hope this article was helpful to you and that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening all the way through. Thank you for being a subscriber of the show, and do be sure to come back tomorrow for a parenting article. That's where your optimal life awaits.